Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Green White Checker TV. Tonight we have the Area 51 Superspeedway Cup Series season finale for season number 5. So it's going to be between those two drivers at the top of the list, Kevin Freeze, Matt Quick. Kevin, however, as you can see, has a 22-point lead. He's going to definitely need some, Matt's going to need a little bit of help to try to get around that number 25 of Kevin Freeze to see if he can get this title for season 5. You got Gabe Butler in third, Raymond Rittenauer fourth, tied with Dale Willoughby, and then you got Charles Johnson, Kevin Hash, Dalton Hayes, Brandon Pasalacqua, and Michael Spell rounding out our top 10. Drivers making their qualifying laps right now, trying to get in their fastest laps. Of course, could be critical for that number 89 and the 25, see if they can get a bonus point to give themselves an advantage for tonight's race. But at the same time, there's also some strategy where if you maybe start in the back or near the back, you have the option of not qualifying and be able to maybe get a bonus point for most positions gained. So we could see maybe one of those drivers going to take that strategy as well. So we'll wait and see to let these drivers finish up their qualifying laps, and then we'll get underway here in just a moment. Alright, with that, qualifying has completed. Let's go and pull up our results for tonight's running order.
You know, what's interesting is the knowledge from racing translates really well into playing. When you're going downhill, super high speed. I mean, it's all the same stuff. It's what's the line, where do I slow, where do
All right, so on that pole position, that number 1 of Gabe Butler, we've mentioned that driver. He's been on a roll these last few races here, finishing up season 5. Next to him is our points leader, Kevin Fries. And then in third, you've got Raymond Rittenauer. Fourth, Eric Laurie. Fifth is Dale Willoughby. In sixth, you got Jack Walsh. Charles Johnson, seventh. Mark Brown in eighth. 9th through 16th here, you got Corey Lane, Nicholas Winook, Brandon Pasalacqua, Todd Merkel, Matt Quick, our second place in points entering tonight's race, Robbie Richards, Michael Spell, and Art Peck. And the remainder of the field here, you got Diego Vasquez, Dalton Hayes, Dwight Plush, and Paul Patterson. So it looks like to lead things off, it's going to be a wash between that number 25 and the number 89, neither of them getting any bonus points for the pole position. So it's going to stay at that original 22-point gap between the two of them. So again, there are bonus points for leading. There's a bonus point for leading lap, bonus point for leading the most laps. Say there also is that bonus point for the pole position, which is going to go to that one of Gabe Butler, and then one for the most positions gained in the race. Then there's also some bonus points for, of course, winning the race. I believe there's 1 point for that. And then I believe 3 bonus points for having a clean race, so 0 incident points. So those are going to be the things that these drivers are going to be trying to keep an eye on for themselves. However, at this point, though, that 25, he's put himself in a great position here coming into the season finale. So I think for Kevin Fries, he just needs to kind of keep it clean. And say even with a maybe top 10 finish, even with that, I think he'll still be able to pull up the title. So we'll see what happens. I'll say that's why we do this. We got 75 laps tonight, and we'll see who's able to bring it into victory lane and who's going to grab this season 5 championship. So, of course, with tonight's race being at Daytona, say the track's going to be a little narrow, as I'm sure a lot of you have been doing some racing at Talladega, as you saw, of course, in the Cup race today. Say there's a lot more room at Talladega than in Daytona, so we'll probably see a lot of 2x2 racing here, especially early on. I think they're going to try to get that green flag pit stop cycle through. So, again, probably 2 green flag pit stops will be the goal for tonight's race. We'll see if drivers are able to see what the strategy is going to be, if any yellows come out to shake that up a little bit. But definitely, though, 75 lap race, the goal is to get to that lap 25-26 mark on fuel. Drivers, of course, that are going to have the most difficulty are going to be those ones leading the way here up front. However, if you're in that bottom, especially if you're on the bottom line where like you see where Dale Willoughby is, where Charles Johnson is, you can save a lot of fuel in that inside line. So might be able to stretch another lap or 2 on fuel and just be able to help your chances here. So I'll wait and see how tonight's race unfolds. So you see the pace car pull off. It's going to put into the hands of that number 1 of Gabe Butler, 25 of Kevin Fries. Green flag is out, and we are underway. See, the inside line gets a really good start here. You got the top 2 already cleared of that 25. Now Eric Laurie able to get to the back of the 25. See what Willoughby does. If he can clear that number 25, does Dale want to be the one to lead that top side and maybe have a chance to get some laps led in that number 7 machine? We got all those guys right there, though, are all teammates with that 25, though, of Kevin Fries. So I think we're going to see probably a lot of just respectful racing around him. And also just with all the other competitors, they know what's at stake for some of these drivers here. They definitely, you never want to be that driver to possibly play an outcome in the results of the race. So right now they're coming out of turn number 4 through the travel. Looks like lap number 1 going to go to that number 1 of Gabe Butler. He's got Raymond Rittenauer right behind him, pushing him through in the front. Things holding pretty solid. Again, you're going to see probably for the most part, say we're going to see that like 200 plus mile an hour pace laps here again. I don't think we're going to see a lot of drivers force it 3 wide, especially early on in the race. So I think we're going to see these guys kind of just hold station here. So that's kind of what we've come to get accustomed to and got used to seeing here with these guys. So I don't think we'll see any big moves being made by anybody at the moment. At some point we might see Eric Laurie maybe try to push that 25 across, get him in front of that number 1 machine, but as of the moment right now, everybody's staying lockstep here. Looking from the back up, our race leader of Gabe Butler, you can see right behind him that number 87 of Raymond right now, and you can see just to his outside of the 25071 of Kevin Freeze, Eric Laurie trying to see if they can make that outside charge a little bit as well. Jack Wall's right there in that mix here too. I say a lot of drivers, of course, at these plate races, you kind of look out the mirror more than you're looking forward. I say with this group here, I say again, if you have someone you can trust, though, you definitely don't have to worry about that as much. So I'd say I don't think we're going to see that one car leave the yellow line here, so I think it's going to be pretty much status quo for him. He's just going to run this yellow line as close as he can, as clean as he can. I'm saying right now, though, we are through starting lap number 4 here of the 75. And you see all the drivers here still on that lead group. So you've got the 20 drivers in the race. 20 right now are still right in this lead pack. So you can see, though, that top line starting to make a little bit of a run here down the back. You can see Kevin Freeze starting to creep a little bit forward. Just gets to the door of that number 1 as they enter turn number 3. I'm saying that's what you'll see here. The inside line will definitely have the little slight advantage on the turns. But then the outside line really picks up the momentum coming out of the exits. Right, side by side, couldn't even tell who had the lead at the line. Looks like it may have been that number 25 of Kevin Freeze, which again would be critical for him. All those bonus points extremely crucial for all these drivers to see what they can do. So we'll keep an eye on that. So as you can see, though, we'll kind of run around some of the running order here. As you can see, of course, all the drivers here all still running all together right now. So we mentioned those teammates right now pretty much dominating the top 5 here. You got Gabe Butler leading the way, Kevin Freeze right to the side of him. Then you got Raymond Rittenauer behind the 1 car. Dale Willoughby in the 7 is the 3rd car on the inside line. And then on the outside, as we mentioned, Kevin Freeze, our points leader, entering. 071 of Eric Laurie right behind him. And then you got Jack Walls side by side with Charles Johnson there in that right now, the 3rd, 4th rows on the inside-outside lines. So those are the first of those non-teammates drivers kind of dominating the front group right here at the moment. And just the 10 of Corey Lane, and then also the 68 of Mark Brown in that Gatorade machine there. So it's hard to catch some of these guys at times. There they are. And then right behind them, you got the teammates there, 23 and the 78 of Brandon Pasalacqua and Nicholas Winook. And then just behind them, the 81 of Todd Merkel, the 12 of Robbie Richards, 36 of Art Pex right there as well. And you see Michael Spell in the 88 machine going through here alongside with the 47 of Dalton Hayes. There's that 89 Matt Quick. We mentioned him. I think he's going full fuel save right now in that 89 machine. And then right behind him, the 26 of Paul Patterson. All right, the last 2 kind of just cruising here in the back, trying to stay out of trouble just in case, is that number 80 of Diego Vasquez and 34 of White Flesh. So those are our front runners here for the moment. So we'll go back up front to our race leaders again, still 2x2. And I think that's what we're going to see here for another about 18 to 20 laps or so before these leaders make their first set of pit stops. I just don't think we're going to see anybody force a move and try to find a way to kind of try to force a 3 wide to move towards the front here. A lot of these drivers have definitely kind of learned the tricks and ways of trying to maximize your pit stops here, and that's where pretty much everybody tries to make their damage done, make their track position up. And of course, then those couple laps pit stops is of course extremely critical as well. Just needing to make sure, of course, you get locked on together with that car in front of you and see if you can chase them back down and kind of get that draft locked on as quick as possible here. Coming across start lap of the 75. 67 laps still remaining in this race. And as I mentioned right now, say everybody's still lockstep. I'll say we won't see too much on the position-wise change. Actually, I'm looking, everybody's pretty much on the exact order where they qualify. So I think the only one that's really changed is around the is from that 89 of Matt Quick dropping to the back, trying to save fuel. He started 13th, dropped back to 17th. So otherwise, everybody's pretty much exactly where they qualified. So you can pretty much 11th from Brandon Pasalacqua on up are exactly where they qualified. So again, like I mentioned, everybody's pretty much running 200-mile-an-hour pace laps here right now at Daytona. So we'll wait and see when some drivers are able to kind of get ready to make those charges towards the front. But again, I think everybody's just biding their time, saving fuel, and trying to use that strategy to help their cause here. So showing that 89 of Matt Quick right now as right now in the 17th position, and he's 22 points out of the lead entering tonight's race. So I think Matt, again, I think he's going to go for kind of that contrarian strategy, see if he can make that work out to his benefit by going out a little bit longer on fuel than those ones leading the race here up front. We've seen it work out pretty well for him. As long as he can get a clean look, we've definitely seen him make some ground. As you can see, this inside line is really starting to push a little bit here. You can see the 7's actually cleared of the 25 for just a moment, but now it looks like the 25's got the momentum back again from that 071 Eric Laurie. So that's going to bring them all back into the mix here. As you can see, that's kind of what you see here. These play races, just kind of that ebb and flow where everybody's going to have kind of different progressions of probably the 071 Eric Laurie. Probably got a little bit hot, had to roll out of it a bit. That gave that momentum to the inside line, but now that they've locked back on together, you can see that the momentum's shifted again, and now you got that 25 Kevin Freeze right to the side of that number 1 of Gabe Butler again as they enter turn number 3. So we are on lap number 12, so we're just about halfway through this first fuel run. Again, 25 laps or so is that fuel number that they're going to be aiming for to make this race on 2 stops. As you see, the 7 of Dale Willoughby get a little squirrely there out of turn number 4. They're able to get it corrected there. You see Charles Johnson giving plenty of room just in case. So you can see again, still a little bit of a wobble there from that from that number 7 machine. So maybe just being where he is right now, just maybe not feeling the most comfortable on track, but doing what he needs to do here at the moment. Hop on board with that number 7 of Dale Willoughby. You can see, even if you're that third car in line, you still have to be right on, tucked up on the back bumper of that car in front of you to keep that lane going. And these are the things that these guys that they practice, they learn, and then they have it down to a science really with these cars. So you know, if you get one of your temperatures, your oil, your water temp, you kind of stagger off to the left, to the right to help that temperature out. And so that's exactly what you're seeing right here with these guys up front. So you look at the back of that number 7 machine, you're going to see all the 28 of Charles Johnson there right behind him. Charles right now is showing right around the 6-7 position, depending on where he is in relation to that number of 83 of Jack Walls. I say again, these drivers working hard here. It's one of those things where it doesn't look too crazy from afar, but in these cars, you're super tensed up on that. You're just kind of got a death grip on the wheel, just making sure you don't make any mistakes. Because that's the thing, is like any little bobble, if you wash up and get into the corner of the car in front of you or something like that, it's gonna ruin a lot of people's nights. Although that being said, we do have the 2 fast repairs, so there's the opportunity for being able to recover from it. But yeah, it's just one of those things you definitely never want to be involved in these incidents, and that's what just makes it so much more nerve-wracking. Just not knowing when and where something like this could happen, because that's just the nature of these races. I mean, everybody's all going to be bundled together here all race, except for the potential of a pit stop cycle. As you see, the 83 of Jack Wall saw the opening to get to the bottom, and he's going to take it. I think this is really going to shift the momentum now until Mark Brown gets that top group of Eric Laurie. Because now you can see everybody's pretty well organized here on the inside line, but there's only the 2 right now on the top at the moment. You can see that has definitely pushed the inside line to make some progress up along them. But right now, I think at this point, if you're those teammates, you still feel pretty safe. I think their goal here is to try to keep that 28 with Charles Johnson. If they can keep him from clearing think they'll be all right, because I think if Charles gets the opportunity in that number 28 machine, he'll definitely jump to the top, because he's not part of this team group together, so he'll want to try to get up front and lead this race in that number 28 car. Hop on board with that 20 of Charles Johnson. You see him right behind that 7 of Dale Willoughby. To his outside, you see the leaders there, the 25, the 071. There's Mark Brown just peeking into the picture there off to the right. I say Mark able to close that gap down, so now that outside line is going to be nice and well organized again here as well, as we are now starting lap number 17 of 75. So again, like I mentioned there, 59 to go in this race, so it's going to be about 9 to 10 laps before we'll start seeing everybody hit the pits here. Saying it sounds interesting, or sounds strange, but it's actually, you can make it easier on fuel on the 2 stops with this track versus Talladega, because Talladega is just slightly longer, and that little difference makes it just that much trickier for these drivers to try to make it on fuel at that lap 25 mark. Here at Daytona, it's usually a little easier for these drivers to make it happen. Oh, we got trouble right now. He's around. See Dale Willoughby as well. Looks like they're going to hang on to it somehow. So trying to find Raymond here. He's down around in the grass here. He's going to try to get it back together. You see Dale Willoughby, he's trying to get going as well. They both have lost the draft though. So that could shake things up front here. We'll see how the momentum is looking. As you can see, actually, that did slow up the top line, so that's allowed Kevin Freeze now to take control. And you've got behind him, Eric Laurie pushed him, looks like, through. And then you've got now Gabe Butler back to third, but now you got the top side here. You got the 68 of Mark Brown. You got the 78 of Nicholas Winook. So they're going to try to lock up here. Like I said, they see the opportunity. This is their chance here to try to push and take control of this race. And then Nicholas has his teammate Brandon Pasalacqua right behind him. So you can see there's a lot more cars on the inside. As I said, you see one jump to the top. I believe that is the 12 of Robbie Richards. He's going to jump to the top here, see what he can do to help that top side out. But I didn't see what happened there. Well, I'll try to see if I can do a quick look to see. That way we don't miss anything. So we'll jump around and check for just a moment. Alright, we're watching that number 87 and the 7 here go through the tri-oval. Oh yeah, just a little bit of a left hook from the 7 machine to the 87. That sends Raymond down around through the grass. And you see Dale's able to recover pretty quickly from it. But I say that's what happened there to bring out that not to bring out the caution, to cause the inside. Oh, see another one, the 071 Eric Laurie. Oh, goes over the ramp there of the Daytona infield. He goes for a ride there. It's definitely caused some damage there for his number 071 machine. Just caught it as it happened there. So let's go back and take a look to that to see what happened to Eric Laurie here. Say it's all picking up right now. So we're watching him right behind that 25 of Kevin Freeze. Oh, he blew up. 071, I saw the smoke come out of the car that popped the motor on his car. So you can see he's going to be limping around here, trying to coast here. He's going to probably have to take a tow. So the 071 of Eric Laurie just pushed for too long and too hard. That's what popped the motor there. Again, though, still staying green here. And so we talked about the risk of how aggressive you push here. So again, really shaking up the running order. So now we've got just those two teammates here up front, the 25 of Kevin Freeze, the 1 of Gabe Butler. Really want to commend, though, Eric Laurie. I mean, he, as soon as he saw and felt that thing blow up, he got off the track immediately. Could have caused a lot bigger issue there. You can see, yeah, isn't able to make it through this. He's going to have to take a tow here. So that's going to put him a couple of laps down, unfortunately, for that 071 of Eric Laurie. So we'll see. Once he gets the tow done, he'll be able to hop back on track, though. So, yeah, a lot of action here early on in the going now as we are approaching. Now we're on lap 22 of 75. So again, we're going to see pit stops here in just a few more laps. I'm saying I think we'll see the 25 and the 1. I think we'll see them hit the pits together. But now I'm curious to see if that 78, 68, 23, if that combo can maybe find their way to get to the front here. Right now, Raymond Rittenauer and Dale Willoughby still staying on track right now on the lead lap. Let's say Raymond I'd say about a full backstretch ahead of the leaders. Looks like about maybe 7 seconds or so in front of them. And then Dale Willoughby is showing about 20 seconds behind the leader, so he's still got a little ways to go before they catch up to him. But yeah, I'll say pretty wild there for a little bit there up front. So now things have kind of settled back in a little bit. And saying again, this is where that fuel stuff's going to come in. If I'm assuming we'll see the 25 and the 1 come in first because they've been the drivers that have been leading this whole race so far. So they're going to have a lot more fuel usage out of their cars. That might be where you see some of those drivers like the 68, the 78. Maybe they try to stretch it that extra lap and kind of get that really aggressive in lap, where you try to get as fast as of a lap as you can and then hit the pits and try to gain time that way. But you're going to see though they're slowly but surely catching that number 87 to Raymond Rittenauer. Again, and say what could happen here, which I mean could be actually a benefit for that 25 and the 1, is once they catch Raymond, again, they're going to be due to pit here in just another lap or two. So maybe Raymond jumps into the pits with them, and they'll be able to kind of have that extra car and that drafting group together, even with Raymond being a lap down. Also, Eric Laurie is back on track right now, showing 2 laps down. So he's going to, once the field comes around, that's going to put him 3 down. As you can see, there's the 071 leaving the pits. There's the 87. Here come the leaders start bearing down on them as they come down the backstretch here. So they'll say we'll probably see those 2 jump to the top. They'll say this is where things get a little hairy. Say drivers, again, Talladega gets no problem. There's a lot more lift here. However, here at Daytona, you have to be a lot more careful. You have to really try to work together. Actually, as I was say, they're 2x2, but you see Eric Laurie, he jumps to the top right away. He's going to lock in behind that number 87 of Raymond Rittenauer. So now you're going to see those 2 run the wall here. And I'll say this is where things get a little bit tight for just a moment, and then hopefully everybody's able to make it through here. Oh, actually, we have a little bit of contact. I say the thing was, I saw one car disappear. I think it was maybe Nicholas Winook, and that's got contact. So you can see heavy damage. So it looks like Eric Laurie actually has some really heavy damage to the front of that car. I think I saw the 89 have, sorry, not the 89, the 28, I think it was. So someone had an issue there. As here comes pit stop. Oh, Kevin Freeze got loose there on the brakes, able to hang on to it. Now he's got to get it down to speed. Looks like he has it done. I see the 1. Gabe Butler, he's in as well. Saying Eric Laurie is going to have to pit with them because he's got missing the front chunk of his car. And also, I believe, actually, it looks like Raymond Rittenauer may have retired. I'm not sure. I'll have to wait and see on that one. That's going to cycle things now over to Charles Johnson here in the number 28 machine. I say this is what we talked about, that extra lap. And so those guys are actually going to be pitting by themselves here, which is going to be, now it's critical for them is to come out together. So we'll watch that 25 and the 1, see if they can at least get locked on together. And of course, now the next step is for all these drivers here to have a nice and clean entry. As they hit the entry, you can see just a whole bunch of cars. You have to make sure you give each other some room. And so far, oh, you can see one car overshoots. I think that was the 36 of Art Peck. He's missing the commitment cone. You see Nicholas Winook having to react to that. He has to slow down a little bit. So say not as ideal as they were hoping for that pit entry. 3 drivers stayed out to go one more lap here. Actually, it looks like 2 drivers now, as I see Mark Brown's fallen off the pace in that 68 machine. I think Mark's out of fuel, actually, in that number 68 cars. He is falling back quickly. So that's going to leave now Corey Lane. You can see here's where the 89 of Matt Quick, he's going to push as hard as he can here. I say with just the 2 of them, they were hoping for a little bit more there. So say they probably use the draft of Eric Laurie as best they can. Now they're going to hit the pits here as well. Say with the 2 of them, it's obviously a little easier, a little less dodgy. And looks like, yeah, they both get in nice and clean here. So that's going to cycle things around now. So we're going to wait and see where everybody comes out of the pits. I believe it's the 81. Yeah, 81 Todd Merkel. He's going to lead these cars out of the pits. And you can see in the distance, here come Kevin Freeze and Gabe Butler. And I think those guys that made that pit that second time around, looks like they're going to have the advantage, because I think once these 2 get to them, they probably won't be able to go too far in front. Although, as I said, you can see a big hit of steam from those 2 cars. We'll see them. I think we'll see them jump to the top, and there they go. But now it's going to be a 2-on-4 battle here for the moment. So right now you got Todd Merkel leading the way. So now the next group we have to watch is that number 10 of Corey Lane. Actually, I'm trying to find, oh, the 89 Matt Quick still in the pits here. I think Matt may have gotten too hot possibly, or may have had a speeding penalty, because he's actually still sitting in pit road. I'm thinking likely a 40-second stop and hold for him is, unfortunately, I've experienced that myself. So now as the leaders are coming up, you see, again, 2x2 here going down the back. Right now, that outside line has got a slight advantage. Can't quite clear him yet. But now what's going to happen is they're going to come up on that number 10 of Corey Lane and say they're going to go around him. Corey's got to try to drop down here and pick up the draft as quick as he can, because I say as long as he can stay in it, he should still have a chance here. That's going to be his goal. And yeah, sure enough, looks like the inside lane is going to be able to pull them through. So say now we're going to wait and see. So yeah, so you see 25 there. He's going to fall in line with the 1. So right now we've got a 6-car group there, and I think hopefully Corey can catch them back up. That'll make it a 7-car group there up front. And then it looks like the next group on back is going to start with the 88 of Michael Spell. He's got some guys with him. Looks like Brandon Pasalacqua, Dalton Hayes, Nicholas Winook. They're also going to be picking up Art Peck here in that 36 machine, so that'll be 5 cars in that group versus the 7 in the first group. And then, yeah, I'm not sure what happened, unfortunately, to the 89 Matt Quick. He's still sitting in the pits there, so unfortunately at this point, I'm going to say that's going to end his championship hopes for Season 5 here. Really unfortunate for him. Also see Diego Vazquez still sitting in the pits in that number 80 machine as well. So this one's been a kind of a wild one here on this first stint of the race. So after all this is said and done, currently we have 14 cars on the lead lap. Dale Willoughby is the last car in the lead lap, although he's unfortunately out by himself right now in that number 7 machine, about 35 seconds out of the lead. And then drivers we have a lap down right now include that 36 of Art Peck. And then you got Matt Quick, Mark Brown, Diego Vazquez is 3 down, Eric Laurie 3 down. And sure enough, yeah, it looks like the 87 Raymond Rittner has retired from the race, unfortunately. So yeah, so this has been a wild one here to start things off. So again, like I said, still have another pit stop to go in about 20 laps or so. So now you're going to have Todd Merkel leading the way in that number 81 car. And then let's go ahead and let's check back on the 10 of Corey Lane. You can see he's still trying everything he can to close that gap. And I think he's there now. He was actually the fastest car of that lead pack. Yeah, there you go. Corey Lane's caught that group now. Saying probably sure a little bit of nerves there initially, but now he's got that nice and secured. So now it's going to be all about lap time to see what this lead pack here with these 7 cars, how they compare to that group behind them. So I'll take a look at the intervals at the line, the speeds at the line. As you can see right now, Michael Spell is about 3.5 seconds off the lead. Probably about 2.5, I would say, actually, though, off of the back of the group there with Corey Lane. And let's see, the leaders that last time by actually pretty much identical laps. There's the 81 Todd Merkel ran a 44.759. The 88 of Michael Spell ran a 44.751. So 8 thousandths of a difference between them. And actually, I should be now what looks like looking at the 36 of Art Peck. Looks like they tagged onto him, saying Art Peck ran a 44.747. So still pretty close together on those lap times. You can see Michael doing all he can right now to push that 36 car. I was saying that's the thing, is like it doesn't really matter who's leading as long as their car isn't damaged. What they need to do is they need to stay well organized here and stay kind of locked on as best they can. So basically Art's job is to kind of hold a steady wheel, not make too many movements, and then Michael Spell's gonna have to kind of keep pushing that car. And they made a good gain there actually that last time by. It was a 44.3 compared to leaders 44.6, so 0.3 of a second gain that last time by. And again, the more they can close that gap here, I was saying they're just about in that window where they can probably sniff the draft of those leaders, and I think that's where we're going to see some really fast lap times from that second pack. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. So we could have this lead pack being back up into 12 cars with 11 cars with Nicholas Winook being the last one of that group. So the unfortunate couple that got dropped off during the pit stop cycle was the 26 of Paul Patterson. You see him working with Eric Laurie, as we mentioned, is 3 laps down at the moment. And then right behind them, the 44 of Dwight Plush. Those two showing as the last 2 on the lead lap currently is the 26 and the 44. Because I say leaders are just about to swallow up that number 7 of Dale Willoughby. Again, Dale there had that little bit of contact with the 87 through the tri-oval. So to say Dale's trying to just kind of recover at this point. So what he's going to do here is he's going to try to tag onto the back of that number 10 of Corey Lane. And now he's going to be battling to stay in front of that number 36 of Art Peck, because that's going to be the battle for that lucky dog position. So keep an eye on him. And again, watching the lap times. So it's a 44.2 for our leaders that last time by. That second group behind actually just about the exact same times, 44.220 for Art Peck. So I'd say just about maybe half a tenth or so. So they are slowly but surely gaining. Say one thing they do have now too is you can see that number 7 Dale Willoughby, he's a little bit off the pack, so that's going to kind of let them, that draft window is going to be that little bit farther now, so they're going to be able to start bringing that group in together a little bit more. So I think that's, again, I think that's just going to keep helping this lead pack here, or sorry, the second pack here catch this lead pack. Again, I say once Art Peck, once he can get onto the draft of either the number 7 or whoever it may be that's in the back of that train, that's going to be what those guys are looking for. And so yeah, looking now, looks like Todd Merkel ran at 44.3, Art Peck at 44.2. So again, another 10th or so for the second pack. So they are doing exactly what they need to do, slowly but surely closing that gap. I believe Dale Willoughby has caught the train, so he's on that group as well. So right now they've got the 8 cars in that group, and that's the only risk now, is if those extra cars are going to maybe hurt the progression of that second group. But right now, I think they're just about in that window. You can see about 2.5 seconds between off the lead. So I think right now they're definitely sniffing the draft of that number 7 car. So now again, if they can just keep doing what they're doing here, I think they can really make this charge. And yeah, look, oh yeah, definitely having it there. Yeah, there you go, fastest lap of the race, that 43.850 Art Peck. So they are there, they are closing to say they've got the draft they need now. Now you're going to see that gap close quick. You're going to see another probably fastest lap of the race by that number 36 car. So we're going to have a 11 car lead pack again. And again, that lucky dog battle is going to be between the 7 and the 36 right here, as those two are right into this group together. So yeah, see here they come out of turn number 3 and 4, and that's going to be our lead pack all back together here. Great drafting there by that 36, the 88, the 23, the 47, the 78. So yeah, so we've got a whole big group again here. Now we'll see if they just kind of get back in line here or not. We'll see. Yeah, last time by again, Art Peck does another slightly faster lap of the race at 43.835. And actually, surprisingly, here Art's just going to jump to the top here, and he's going to roll back in the line here. I thought he would have actually tried to take the lead there, or try to lead that pack around the top side, but he's going to kind of hold steady here. So, but now I see a few making some moves there. I believe that there goes the 7 of Dale Willoughby. He wants to be the one to lead this top group. Looks like he's got Brendan Passalacqua. He's going to work with him. Nicholas Winnock, teammate to that number 23. They're going to work together here to the top side. So again, that pit window here still got about 13 or so laps before that comes into play. So we'll see what this top line can do here. I say we just crossed the halfway point of tonight's race. So unfortunately, it looks like Diego Vasquez in the 80 has retired as well. And so I see Robbie thinking about maybe jumping to the top. That's what I'm waiting to see, if and when who's going to be the one to kind of lead that top group. But right now, everybody's holding steady on the inside line. Just those 3 working the top. Say a little further back, we'll jump around a little bit. You see that's 26 to 71. They're still working together there. 44 Dwight Plush, he's kind of just right now hanging on to the back of them. And I also see Matt Quick is back on track with the 68 of Mark Brown. Say Matt showing 2 laps down. Mark is 1 lap down. Say again, unfortunate for Matt Quick there in the 89 machine. That's gonna pretty much throw his championship's hopes away unless things are drastically changed coming to the result of this race. But you never know. You gotta wait till the checker flag falls before we actually would know for sure. But you can see though that 723, just the 2 of them working together, they are strong right now. Saying they're working on getting back to that front. Saying Dale Willoughby again. If Dale actually can get to the front here, he can get this lap back the old-fashioned way. Saying the driver rooting for that would be that 36 of Art Peck. He'd be like, yeah, come on, get around him. That way, if there's a caution, you've got your lap back that way, and then I'll get a lap back too. So we'll see what these 23 and the 7 can do together. It looks like Nicholas Winnock, he could not kind of keep onto the back of those 2, so it looks like it's kind of a 2 on, at this point, I think it's like 10 there on the inside line. So these two drivers here are working extremely well together on that top side. On board with that 23 of Brendan Passalacqua. You can see just trying to stay right, tucked up onto. You see there how he staggered off to the right a little bit. That's giving that car just a little bit of air, help that temperature stay where you can stay kind of locked on as close as you can, but still try not to overheat it. So that's kind of a typical move you'll see drivers do. They'll stagger off to the left or to the right to help their temperatures a little bit. So you see right now Dale will be trying to do everything he can to make that charge back to the 81. But right now things still holding pretty steady as they go 2 by 2. I thought I saw possibly, yeah, I thought I saw someone jump to the top there a little earlier as we just switched to the onboard. And sure enough, here comes Michael Spell, here comes Dalton Hayes. They're going to join this group. That's just going to make this top line that much stronger here. So we'll see what they're able to do here coming through the back. So yeah, as you can see, as 88, he's caught them now. Dalton Hayes is there as well. So we'll see if this is going to give that that lead pack up top, if that's able to give them a little bit more of a kind of a push here to see if they can kind of work their way around that 81. But I mean, we've seen that inside line again, pretty dominant. Just all about how well you can work together. But actually, it looks like Brennan's got the 7 just a nose ahead at the moment. But here comes that inside line back through the turn. So now it's going to be, can the 7 and the 23, can they get the power they need down the backstretch? That's usually where we see the outside line get that momentum. But they right now are just holding exactly even down the back. A slight advantage to the 7 car, but not enough to clear that 81, our race leader of Todd Merkel. See, 7-Dale will be just about was able to clear that number 81 Todd Merkel again. That's just to try to get his lap back to be the tail end of the lead lap. I say he's just about there. You see a little wobble out of him out of turn number 2. You can see here comes Brandon Paslak. He's got the push. He's pushing that 7 car as hard as he can, and he is going to clear. Now the question is, can they both get to the bottom or not? They cannot. So Dale Willoughby going to now lead this pack here again. Right now, just kind of running at the tail end of the lead lap. So now it's going to be the battle on the outside, and the inside is going to be actually between the 81 and the 23 car. As you see, Brandon Paslak actually able to jump around there, and so that's going to give Brandon the lead here through the tri-oval. I'll say as we are on lap number 45, 75, 35 to go. 31 to go, apologies. Actually, though, Michael Spell, the big push to that number 23 car. That actually gets now him cleared of the 7 car, so we'll see. Is Brandon going to stay with the top side with that push he's getting from Michael Spell? So actually, as he does that, they both clear that number 7 car. So we'll see if they might both drop to the bottom here. And Brandon does, but actually looks like the 88 Michael Spell, he stays to the top. He's got Dalton Hayes behind him. So these drivers actually showing this top line is working well right now. They're just drafting really well together here. So new race leader is going to be, for the moment, the 23 Brandon Pasalakwa. Michael Spell fighting on the top side, trying to get the top spot with the help from Dalton Hayes in the 47 car. Again, number 7 Dale Willoughby right now is 1 lap down. Was on the tail end lead lap for just a moment. Unfortunately, say with that pass, he's now back down, tracked 1 down. And then Todd Merkel right there in the lead pack as well. One of our race leaders. There's led a bunch here on the under this first set of pit stops. So now, if I'm wondering if I'm that 7 car, if I can get clear of that 88, do I jump back to the top here, try to get the 88 to push me back to the front? Again, say just if you can be that tail end lead lap, I mean, it's that much easier for you. As you can see, inside line definitely starting to make some momentum here. So, and there he goes. He is going to jump to the top. He's going to use the momentum here to try to side draft the 23 just a little bit there at the line. The problem is he doesn't have the help he needs yet. But here comes Michael Spell coming through the trial. He's going to get to the back of him. Looks like entering turn number 1. As they stay side by side, you can see also the gap from the 23 and the 81. That's going to help the outside line a little bit. Because until Todd Merkel can kind of get locked onto the back of that 23 car, the outside line is going to have this momentum right now. You see 88 Michael Spell pushes the 7 just a little bit ahead of the 23. Not enough to clear him yet. So I think that's going to be what Dale's going to be looking for here, is if he can get clear of that 23 car, he can jump to the bottom. And again, so that way he can be the tail end of the lead lap. Again, I say that just opens up a lot of potentials for him. Again, and like I mentioned as well, pit stop cycle here not too far away, so also going to be another additional reason to try to get to the bottom. But right now, let's say just not quite clear of that 23 Brandon Paslak. Almost had it there for a moment, but just can't quite do it as of yet. But we'll see how they come out of turn number 2. As you can see also, though, they're starting to catch those 2 lap cars there of the 89 and the 68, I believe it was. But they stay 2 by 2 here down the back. All right, so next question is who's going to blink first on the pit stop cycle? So the 1 and the 25, Kevin Freeze and Gabe Butler, they were the first to pit last time by. However, they've been in this draft for a long time now, so they've probably been able to save fuel. They can probably go another lap or so. So say they probably saved enough to save that 1 lap or so to be able to pit with this lead pack here. Because right now the drivers that stayed out the longest on the last run is the 10 of Corey Lane. So he had that pit stop with the 89 of Matt Quick, which unfortunately say did not work out very well for the 89 car. But say so Corey probably has a little bit more fuel in reserves on that number 10 machine. And say so I think we're going to see again pit stops here again, probably about 2 to 3 laps. Say that lap 50 mark is going to be kind of the telltale on that one, but again you probably want to have a little bit in reserve just in case of a potential for a green-white checkered finish. That's always a potential here at Daytona and Talladega. See, Dale hasn't quite been able to clear the 88, or sorry, Dale hasn't been able to quite clear the 23. Brandon Paslacqua, I think the 88 probably had to kind of cool his temps off a little bit. So you can see the gap between the two of them has grown a little bit. Say now they're starting to close the gap again. You see Todd Merkel get right to the back bumper of the 23. 88 giving the 7 the push he needs. Is it enough to clear? It is. He's going to take that opportunity as soon as it opened there. So say now Brandon Paslacqua still showing as a race leader. Going to be battling with the 88 though for the lead here. That 7 again, Dale Willoughby is right now showing the tail end of the lead lap where he is on track here. So it looks like Brandon is able to hold on to that spot. So now it's going to be about fighting to get to the inside line because pit window is open now. Say we're at 25 laps to go in the race. So say everybody's going to try to find a way to squeeze their way into UCC right there. Jack Wall's giving room for Michael Spell. Michael's going to drop in there. Now Dalton Hayes, unfortunately, a lonely man on the top. He's got to find somewhere to squeeze in as well, but hasn't found the opening yet though. So it looks like that number 47 is going to fall back a little bit to try to find an entry here. Might be able to squeeze in right behind Kevin Freeze, but I have a feeling that gap's going to close quickly as well. We'll see if anybody's taking... Oh, he's thinking about it. He's going to... Yep, okay, there he goes. Everybody's squeezing in there. So that's everybody getting in position, get lined up here for the cycle of green flag pit stops. And so we'll see if anybody does here. So something I like to do is if I know I can go a lap further than some of these drivers here on their fuel window, I'll try to basically, once we get onto the backstretch, everybody starts getting ready, starts kind of slowing down even a little bit to make these pit stop cycles. I jump to the top here and try to get someone work with me. That way you make a little bit more time on the top end here. But I have a feeling we might see a 11 car group here hit the pits here, and I believe it'll probably be this time by. So let's jump up front. Let's take a look as they come out of 4. And oh, we got contact. 81 got in the back of the 23. Brandon tries to save it, goes through the grass. Unfortunately, is not able to save. He's going to have to get back on track here. Hopefully, he has enough fuel here. So it's going to be contact between the 23 and the 81 on entry. Not sure if the 81 got down to speed in time or not. So right now it looks like Todd Merkel, Corey Lane, Kevin Freeze, Gabe Butler, Nicholas Winook all in the pits. Oh, Nicholas Winook overshoots his pit stall there. So he's got to back it up a little bit and get service to that car. So right now those leaders now that stayed out, again we mentioned that 7 of Dale Willoughby, again right now tail on the lead lap. So Michael Spell is our race leader. Behind him you got Jack Walls, Charles Johnson right there as well. The 12 of Robbie Richards and Dalton Hayes. I think, yeah, I was going to say you're going to see them all in here. So now if they can get a cleaner stop here, which so far so good, if they can get down to speed, I think it looks like everybody did a pretty good job there. So I think they might be okay here. So I said that's going to be critical for them. You see the 23 of Brandon Paslacqua. He is actually making his way down into the pits now. Really unfortunate for him. Nothing of his own doing. Just wrong place, wrong time. Just everybody gets on the brakes a little bit different. So now it's going to all be about how quick they can make these pit stops and cycle through. And say we'll see. I'm surprised here. I didn't think we'd see a 4-tire stop. I would have done 2 personally. But there they go. So it looks like 7 of Dale Willoughby is going to sneak away just a little bit in front of them. But you're going to have these 4 here all bundled together. So now let's see who's leading the second group, I believe. Let's go jump over to Todd Merkel here. Oh, actually, it's going to be the 1 of Gabe Butler and the 25 of Kevin Freeze. So that's not a big surprise there. Say those 2 really do have their pit stops down. So that being said, though, they're still all grouped together here. So you got the 1, you got the 25, the 10, the 81, and the 36. 89 also right there as well. Unfortunately, the 36 and the 89 are a lap or more down. And I say, oh, actually, here comes Jack Walls. We have a caution. You see there one around. I saw the 83 go to the inside wall. And then there was another one involved as well. I believe it was the 12 of Robbie Richards, possibly. So we are actually under caution through this pit stop cycle process. And say, I think, let's see. I say, well, I want to see where the 7 of Dale Willoughby is. I believe, yeah, Dale Willoughby still was on the tail end of the lead lap. He did exactly what he needed to do. And that's going to get him back onto the lead lap in that number 7 machine. So he's going to go he's going to be able to swing right around that pace car. And then also the 44 Dwight Plesh was on the tail end. He's going to get the go swing on by as well. Whereas Charles Johnson and company, they're going to have to slow down for that pace car. So yeah, great job by those two, though, able to hang on to the tail end lead lap. So that's going to give us 14 cars on the lead lap. And then I believe the 36 of Art Peck is going to be our lucky dog here. So let's go back and see what happened and bring out this caution. That's the first of the evening, by the way. So again, great job by all of these drivers here. Alright, so I think it started right around the 12 and the 83. We'll see them as they come out of the pit stop. So you can see everybody's on different kind of speeds. You can see it looks like they were kind of slowing a little bit, possibly for the 7. Maybe Dale Willoughby didn't get quite the pit exit he needed there. So we're watching the 12 and the 28. And actually the 28 then slows down. And that's where the 12 gets into the back of him. And the 83 gets into the back of the 12. And yeah, that's where the contact is between the two of those drivers there. So you see the 12 spinning around here to the on the outside. You see the 83 heading towards the inside wall. And then watch these cars coming up to that 12 car. They got to try to find the right way through. And they do a great job getting to the inside and avoiding that one, because that was very close between them. And you see Jack Walls, unfortunately, so it gets a little bit of an inside wall hit there for that 83 car. But same thing for Jack, though. We'll be able to get things back going and get back underway. And yep, sure enough, there goes the 36 Art Peck. He is now back on the lead lap, so that's going to give us now 15 cars on the lead lap. And right now our race leader is going to be shown as the 28 of Charles Johnson. And then behind him you got the 88 of Michael Spell. And then you got there in 3rd and 4th and 5th you've got Gabe Butler, Kevin Freeze, and Corey Lane. A few drivers made pit stops there. The looks like the 12 Robbie Richards, again I'm sure damage repair for that number 12 machine. 83 of Jack Walls, same thing for him, I'm sure. And then I believe I also saw a few others hit the pits. That say Dwight Plesh, that makes perfect sense. Say he just got that wave around there. Not the wave around, sorry, he was on tail end lead lap. And then the 7 of Dale Willoughby, same thing for him. Great job by those drivers being able to get in position to get those laps back. And saying, so basically with that though, now we're going to have 15 cars on the lead lap. I'm sure we're going to see Art Peck in the 36 most likely make a pit stop as well. So yeah, so say that's going to be our lead pack right now. So unfortunately, a few drivers still trapped, laps or more down. The 68 of Mark Brown, he is 1 lap down. The 89 of Matt Quick is still 2 laps down. And then the 071 of Eric Laurie is 3 laps down. And then one driver we didn't mention that's a huge benefit actually is that 23 Brandon Pasalacqua. Again, he got hit from behind on the pit entry there and wound up not being able to make it into the pits. So now he's going to be able to be right back up with this pack and be able to challenge here for the win. We saw him be really quick here, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Brandon make a charge here as well. As lights are off on the pace car, everybody's going to double up here. And we're about to restart this race with 18 laps to go at the line. So the leader's going to be the 28 of Charles Johnson, 80 of Michael Spell next to him. And a reminder, of course, now in the restarts, leader has control of when he wants to go, so he can go as early or late as he wants. So I say everybody's reacting to that number 28 car. It looks like he has gone on green. So say Charles Johnson going to lead the way. 88 of Michael Spell to his outside. He's got the 25 of Kevin Freeze behind him. And then you've got Gabe Butler to the inside on the second row. You got a 10 of Corey Lane, the 81 of Todd Merkel. You see Brandon Pasalacqua already right in the mix here. And you see everybody starting to get lined up and grouped up as quick as possible. So we're going to see a lot of pushing and shoving. We're going to have contact right up front. A lot of cars involved here. Say big one here at Daytona. I only think a couple may have gotten through that. We have a lot of cars involved. You see, I see the 89 of Matt Quick was involved. But yeah, so we have a lot of cars damaged here on this one. Let's see what happened there, because that was definitely a Daytona big one here. Let's go and see what happened with these drivers to bring up this caution. So we're coming out of turn number 2 here. Oh, I think the 25 looks like got into the back corner of the 88 car, and from there, just you can see everybody's all bottled up here. I think, like I say, I still only see a couple that snuck through here. The two I'm going to try to keep an eye on are the 68 of Mark Brown. I say see if he's able to get through, because I say this could be an advantage for somebody who may have been one or more laps down. But yeah, so that's going to be a lot of cars involved in this one. Going to be a lot of drivers getting some fast repairs taken care of there. So yeah, so let's start with the 68 of Mark Brown. I want to see if he was able to get through this. Let's hop on board in the roof cam of that number 68 of Mark Brown. Actually, you know what? No, let's go on board. Let's watch the 68 in action here. We'll speed things up. We'll slow down once everything gets going crazy. Alright, so you can see the smoke. You say he sees everything going on. You're going to say now he's going to have to try to react. See the whole track here pretty much blocked in front of him. I'll say, and I think I'll have to take a look. Oh, you see the 10 and the 28 make contact. He goes to the inside here. I think the 68 car parted the waters here, if I'm not mistaken. So now I'll watch. So we're going to go back live. We'll jump to the 68 car of Mark Brown. As you can see, pretty much the whole field here having to pit to get damage repaired. It looks like everybody involved in this incident. And there goes, yep, there goes Mark Brown. He gets his lap back by getting through that incident there. Say no incident points. So great driving by Mark Brown there to get through that somehow. Made the right moves there. I'm sure probably caught a break or two, but he's going to get back onto the lead lap. So that's going to give us 16 cars back on the lead lap. As yeah, indeed, actually every car had to on the lead lap there had to make a pit stop. See a couple trying to make their way back around. So it looks like, I think, yeah, Michael Spell trying to help Charles Johnson avoid having to take a tow. So you can see Michael actually pushing there. Say teammates working together here, trying to get that 28 back to the pit road. So it's like Michael's going to go ahead and get going. Charles thinks he can probably coast from there. So let's see. So now also I think there's going to be some strategy calls here up front, because I see the 071 of Eric Laurie. I think Eric was able to get out of that one as well. So he's going to try to take a wave around here, which would put him 2 laps down from being 3 down. So I'll say that'll be a big break for Eric. I'll say that'll put him in contention for a lucky dog against the 89 of Matt Quicks. Unfortunately, Matt was involved in the incident, so he had to take a fast repair, and he's actually you can see him now in the 89 car having to drop to the back here. So Eric's going to try to take advantage of that and see if he can get back into the mix here. And looks like Michael will say that teamwork there. You see here goes Charles Johnson. He's back on track, still on the lead lap in that 28 car. So that's again just really nice favor there from the 88 of Michael Spell. So yeah, so say those both drivers are going to stay on the lead lap here. Again, we mentioned 68 of Mark Brown there. He is back onto the lead lap as well. And 28 of Charles Johnson making his way back around through here. So there goes the 071 Eric Laurie. He's going to get one of those 3 laps back, so he'll be set back down to 2 laps down. And unfortunately, it looks like Dwight Plush in the 44, it looks like he may have retired from the event. Unfortunately, Dwight was actually, I think he may have been caught up in it, but I thought his car was still okay, or maybe at least had a fast repair remaining. But I say it looks like the 44 has retired from the event as well. So with that, and then also look who's here right now in third position, that number 7, Dale Willoughby. I remember he was the tail end of the lead lap, and he was able to get his lap back that last time by, and now he is right there in third place in the mix here for the win. So again, that just goes to show why you got to go full tilt. You never know how it's going to end. So yeah, so great job by Dale. A huge recovery for him in that number 7 machine. So yeah, so we're going to restart now with 14 to go. And it looks like it'll be our teammates up front now, 1 through 3. That number 1 of Gabe Butler, 25 Kevin Freeze, 7 of Dale Willoughby. And saying behind them, they're going to have to try to see if they can find a way to hold off the 83 of Jack Walls, 12 of Robbie Richards, 78 of Nicholas Winook, 81 Todd Merkel, 23 Brandon Paslacqua. You see 26 of Paul Patterson. He's now up into the mix as well here in the top 8. And also got to give a shout out to Art Peck there in the back in the top 10 as well after getting that lucky dog. So again, some drivers getting the breaks they needed to get back into the into contention here. So it'll be interesting to see how this one's going to pan out. So right now we're waiting for things to get back going. So again, now it's going to be under control by that number 1 of Gabe Butler. Do they try to work together here on this restart and get a gap? And they are underway. We'll see if they're able to get all lined up together. And I think we're going to see 1, 2, 3, 7 in the middle. And then, yep, there goes the 25. He drops to the inside. So you got teammates here, 1, 2, 3 on the inside line. Now it's going to be up to those rest behind them to try to find a way to make a way around those 3 cars here. So Jack Walls is going to be the first of those to try to find a way by, but at this point he's got to wait for some help. So he's got a pretty big gap there until you get back to that 12 of Robbie Richards. He's got Nicholas Winook right behind him. I saw Todd Merkel right there as well. And then at 23 of Brandon Paslacqua. We talked about how fast, how well of a pusher that 23 was. So he was pushing really well, getting that 7-2 back onto the lead lap there. So, and now it's only a matter of time. I think once that run comes, I think it's going to be that 83 of Jack Walls. He's going to be the one to lead this group. So I think we'll definitely see Robbie Richards work with him. But then the question is going to be what these other cars do. And you see Nicholas here on the 78. He's going to jump to the bottom here. Possibly seeing if maybe he can be the one to sneak through here in front of that 83 car. Maybe he can lead this top side. We'll see. You see, oh, it's so close to clearing the 83. Couldn't quite do it. I say now Robbie's got to the back of the 83 and he's going to push him down the back into turn number 3. And so that's going to make the 83. And always easy. The wobbles there for the 78 car. He's got a little bit of just a little bit of a wiggle there through the turn. So it could be just maybe different settings on the steering ratio, things like that. Drivers have different preferences. Here at the plate races especially, some drivers run a very low ratio to make the car really kind of quick response, whereas others, including myself, actually I go with a high steering ratio. That way the wheel isn't too sensitive. You don't feel like you're wiggling around too bad. Right now they're doing what they need to do up front. You see the 83 slowly but surely creeping his way forward. He's now got to the outside of 25, working on the outside of the 7 as well. It's like Robbie Richards pushing Jack Walls now to that fight for the 2nd position with Dale Willoughby. And you can see that top line definitely has a lot of help now. Todd Merkel right there, the 3rd car in line. You got Corey Lane right behind him. And you've got the 89 of Matt Quick. You see the 071 as well as in there of Eric Laurie. And again, those two are actually going to be trying to fight for the lucky dog spot should a caution come out. Actually, no, as I said, it's going to be Charles Johnson right now showing as 1 lap down in the 88 car. So unfortunately, something happened to Charles where he actually is down a lap in that number 88 machine. That being said, though, here comes the push from that number 12 to the 83. As they go down the back, just a nose ahead right now for Jack Walls entering turn number 3. As we're going to come around this time by to 10 laps to go here at Daytona. Again, this is the Season 5 finale for the Area 51 Racing League Superspeedway Cup Series. And saying again, right now in this lead pack, you got pretty much all these drivers in contention for the win. Oh, I saw contact there between the 88. Oh, is he going to hit again? Not going to be a yellow, unfortunately, because that he is off by himself now off the track. So let's see what happened to Michael Spell there. So I couldn't quite tell where it occurred. Oh, it was the 26 of Paul Patterson drifted up a little bit, I think, in reaction to what he saw in front. So unfortunately for Michael, nothing he could do there. So we stay green, though. Again, you can see the 83, again, it's just a slight nose ahead here of that 12 machine. 83, a slight nose ahead of the 1 machine with help from the 12. But right now, though, again, still 2x2 up front, so it's all going to be about who can get the push. And I say right now, I'll say it's going to be win that 7 and the 1. I think at some point we're going to see everybody lock on. Again, oh, you see another little wobble there from the 78 of Nicholas Winook there. Able to still keep it pointed in the right direction, though. Right now, these guys definitely fighting for every inch here. Alright, taking a look, looks like the 1 had a little bit of a momentum there off of 2, but here comes the top side again, getting that run on the exit. And I say we'll see if, looks like Jack can't quite clear him right at the quarter panel, basically. But again, on the inside line, that's going to be where that inside line has the run momentum through the turns. Then the outside line really can work there through the exits. So it's going to be about who gets the best momentum, best push win. As you can see, as they come through the line here at the start-finish line, it's going to be hundredths of a second between the two of those drivers. As we have 8 laps to go here at Daytona. Let's say you see, looks like the Euro 71 of Eric Laurie, he's rolled out of it. He doesn't want to play any role in this one here. But right now, saw a little bit of a wobble there, but looks like everybody's able to keep it clean. You see Matt Quick jump into the top here. Looks like he's kind of poking 3 wide a little bit. Maybe just trying to keep himself in clean air, or possibly trying to roll out of it. I'm not sure. It looks like, yeah, I think Matt's just trying to get out of this one here, let the leaders fight it out. So again, the respect you see from these drivers here, say it's really nice to see. Say, unfortunately for that 071 and the 89, they're both trapped a lap down. Oh, Dale will be down to the apron there for a moment. Let's say, and the other thing though too is, I mean, it also could just be a strategy call where it's like, hey, if I'm in the back of this field, if there's an incident, I can get away from it. Oh, as you can see, almost contact between the 1 and 12. Say, sorry, we missed that. You see the 83 of Jack Walls. He's actually gotten in front of that 1 of Gabe Butler. So now Gabe's going to have to do what he can here to try to push that number 83 forward. And I think if he can get high enough, oh, as you can see, he does push up, but he's going to get to the outside, but he doesn't get his teammate with him. I was 3 wide, a little bit behind him there. I see the 10, and then 36 and then 23 here, 3 wide, a little further back. Everybody's trying to get back settled in, just about got everything back 2x2, but that was a moment there for those drivers. Great heads up by everybody there. As we have 6 to go here at Daytona. Jack Walls right now leading the way in that number 83 machine. So now you've got Dale Willoughby to his back bumper, the 1 of Gabe Butler there in to the outside. Let's see what is that number 83 going to be able to do here. Right now, teammates are split up, though. I mean, again, you can see the 7. He's now with the 83. The 1 is with the 12 now. So you've split these teammates up a little bit. You still do have our championship leader and likely champion for Season 5 of 25 of Kevin Freeze is showing in the 3rd position there with his teammate, the number 7. But what's going to happen here, I think, is if you can see Dale Willoughby, if he can get the run, he needs to sneak in front of the 1, which you see he has now. I think we're going to see Dale Willoughby probably try to jump to the top as soon as he has the opportunity to, which I'll say it definitely is presenting itself. Actually, you see both cars actually able now. I think we're seeing the 7 and the 25 both jump to the top here as they come out of turn number 2. So now just waiting for that momentum to shift, and so here they come, and Dale's going to wait. Oh, Dale waited too long, so now Kevin Freeze is going to have the push from that number 1 as they're going to have to try to work around the 28 of Charles Johnson. So unfortunately, it's going to knock Charles back to 2 laps down here. So he's going to have to, again, also try to, as he contact the wall a little bit. We're still staying green, though. He's able to keep it straight as we are now 5 laps to go here at Daytona. Kevin Freeze now leading the way with help from that 1 of Gabe Butler, and Dale Willoughby right behind the 83 of Jack Walls. So now it's going to, again, try to see who can get the better push. And we've seen, again, both lines have been working well. It just really depends on who gets the push win. As you can see also Dalton Hayes in the 47 car. He is now right into this mix. As you can see, all these cars just inches from each other's bumper, if not pushing them. So as they go into 3, coming around to 4 to go at the line. So right now, Jack Walls, Kevin Freeze leading the way. On the front row basically of this. Again, we talked about these 200-mile-an-hour pace laps. That's pretty much what we've got right now. And say it's going to come down to who's going to get the push win. That's if we get to the finish, or if we get to the white flag before. Of course, we have to mention, do have the potential of up to 3 green, white, checkered finishes. Right now, I think these drivers are going to try to see if they can handle it between themselves, going green here to the end. So you see again, look like 83 had a little bit of momentum loss there, but then 7 gives him a shove down the back. You can see the momentum pick up entering 3. And again, here's where you're going to see that low line. He's going to start creeping a little bit forward from the 25. And the 1 and the 25, they're going to get hooked up on the exit as they're coming up to the 88 of Michael's Spell. Michael's going to jump to the top and let these guys try to get on through, as we're going to come across the line here for 2 laps to go here at Daytona. So they've got 5 miles left to go in this race. Again, right now, 83 Jack Walls holding the lead for the moment. I have a feeling that we're going to see a big surge in that 1 and the 25, probably when the white flag flies. And then again, we'll see what the 7 of Dale Willoughby's able to do as he gets wiggly down the back. Probably got a little bit of a push from the 47 of Dalton Hayes as well. I see Jack Walls is just a nose ahead there for a second of that 25 of Kevin Freeze as we come through 3 and 4 for the second to last time potentially. We'll see what they're able to do here as they come to the white flag. Still everybody staying 2 by 2 up front. More big wiggles from these guys. But now it's all about getting to that white flag, and they do. And you see Kevin Freeze now, he has the nose ahead. And so now this is our final lap here at Daytona for the Season 5 Championship. And Season 5 just in general here for the Area 51 Superspeedway Cup Series. Right now, say Jack Walls has a slight advantage coming down the back. We'll take a look here as they go down the back. So now everybody's going to get really aggressive with their pushing. You see a 25 or 47 into the 7 there, 7 into the 83. But you see Kevin Freeze just has a nose ahead coming out of coming into turn number 3 as they're about to come through turn number 4. Jack Walls got his nose ahead. Now it's going to be all about who gets the momentum where. And saying coming to the line right now, Kevin Freeze looks like he's got the momentum he needs. Gabe Butler behind him, contact in the back, but Kevin Freeze going to get the win. Looks like Gabe Butler going to grab second. I believe Jack Walls got third there before the contact in the back. I'd say from there it was on with everybody else. And so I think it's, if we see there, you see it looks like Robbie Richards grabs 4th. Dale Willoughby 5th. So looks like Kevin Freeze, though, he's going to finish Season 5 off in style, winning the race, winning the championship. So congrats to him. So let's take a look here. Let's go back and watch those coming out of 4 and see what all happened there. But it looked like we talked about that 1 in the 25, just getting the push that they needed to get there to make it happen. Saying kind of had a feeling that was going to be what we would see because those two are just so strong together, that team in general as well. So we'll see. You can see the 78 Nicholas Winook. He's kind of peeking there. Looks like I think he was trying to maybe go 3 wide at the end. So I'll say, well, watch as they come through the line here. You see the 25 leading the way. I'm going to say you can see the 83 to the inside. I'll speed things up a little bit more there. Sorry. Oh, yeah, you see that's 47 and I think it was 47 to 78. They made contact there, and that's where the spin was towards the back. But you can see there up front, though, say pretty much no question to say Kevin Freeze able to sneak away here. Gets that huge push from Gabe Butler to the line. And say so Kevin Freeze is going to get the win. Gabe Butler in second. And you see the 83 is of Jack Walls in third. And it looks like 12 of Robbie Richards just able to hold off Dale Willoughby there. So again, great job by all the drivers here. Really exciting finish as well. Pretty crazy the way this one all turned out there. As you can see a little further back there, you see the 81, the 23. Everybody's just kind of going full tilt there to the finish line there. So that being said, we got some interviews to do. So let me hunt down our top 3 here in just a moment. And we're going to start with our 3rd place finisher, that number 83 of Jack Walls. Alright, as you see, Jack Walls will say, unfortunately, he got across the line in 3rd. So let's pull in our 3rd place finisher. So yeah, Jack Walls will say, we see you come across the line in 3rd, and then from there, say you kind of went down into the Daytona road course, it looks like. That was a really exciting finish. So you did a great job to get your way up there to challenge there for the lead. Just didn't quite get the push you needed at the end on the inside line. So that top line seemed to pull the momentum when they needed to at the very end. But really good run for you. So you gave it all you could there. I mean, was there anything different that you feel like you could have done, or was it just at that point kind of just dependent on those guys behind you?
I could have won that race if the number 7 didn't let up because of his teammates going on the outside. So I'm going to remember that. Next race I'm racing with that number 7. He's not going to get any push from me.
Yeah, so that's always the tricky part with these races with just the teammates required and everything like that. I say it's always um, never ideal the way sometimes it could work out there for you. But that being said, I mean your race itself, I mean you started in sixth, finished third. Obviously had a couple of green flag pit stops and then a couple of restarts they had to deal with as well. So I mean, anything that stood out to you though for the race itself though tonight?
No, not really. It seemed like it started off pretty good. Then we had a few issues along the way, and so I'm just lucky that I got it finished in third place, I guess.
Yes, I mean I mean it's a tough one, of course, to say you obviously. I mean, obviously third's a great result, but say when you know you have that win in sight, there, it's definitely not the way you want to finish it out. So that being said, though, I mean you've been up front here and contending a lot of races lately, so it's definitely I'm sure a way to kind of a nice high to kind of end the season. I'll say with this actually being the official season 5 finale for the whole Area 51 Racing League. I'll say before we go to a couple of off-season races and then jump into season 6 here not too long. So. So I mean, again, a really good run for you. Say, exciting finish there at the end as well. So I gotta definitely give you the floor though. Any thanks and shouts you'd like to give for that run tonight?
Yeah, big shout out to Pennzoil for giving me this bright yellow car. Can't beat it.
Yeah, so that one's always the easy one to stand out. So we know where you are every race there with that bright yellow Pennzoil machine. So congrats again, Jack. Great run tonight. Like I said, just didn't get the push you needed there at the end, but keep putting yourself in contention there, as I'm sure those pushes are gonna be bound to come and get these wins.
Yep, 10-4. You have a good night.
All right, so that is our third place finisher, that number 83 of Jack Walls. We got to pull up our second place finisher, that pushing that top side, that number 1 of Gabe Butler, able to push that number 25 of Kevin Fries to the win here. So let's go and hunt down Gabe there in that number 1 machine. Alright, I think I have found him. Alright, let's pull up Gabe Butler. Say, got the pole position, led a bunch of laps there, and then say you were able to get to the top side with your teammate there, the 25 at the end. I say, obviously, you guys were pushing really well, especially on the last lap, got locked on and just kind of went for it there at the end. I say, obviously, wasn't without any kind of adversity. It was a pretty wild one with a couple of incidents towards the front there that you guys had to kind of sort your way through. But I mean, take us through your race on from your point of view.
Overall, pretty good. I mean, Kevin got the win. He won the championship. So huge congratulations to Kevin there. He fully deserved it. Probably the more consistent one out of us all. So, I mean, as far as the race goes, there was a couple of incidents there I wasn't happy about. You know, on that one restart, I'm not sure what was going on. The two front cars didn't seem to go at all. And both myself and Kevin, we were basically half throttle. Coming out of 2, just crazy, but I guess it is what it is. Play track.
Yeah, so that was definitely a big incident. I think actually every lead lap car was involved in that one. So we were actually able to watch from a couple point of views, and yeah, so we had a couple drivers barely sneak through. Like one was the so I gotta find him here now. So how did I lose his name now? Sorry. But I say there's a couple really, like you mentioned, let's say, and like you said, I mean, it caught up everybody. That was a huge incident there. Helped a few drivers, I feel like, get at least a lap back or get kind of roll into contention there as well. But I'll say at that point, was it pretty much just do a fast repair and maybe a splash of fuel to try to get back up front since you knew everybody had to pit? Or I mean, was there any kind of strategy on that front, knowing that pretty much everybody was caught up in it?
We could have taken fuel if we wanted to, but we didn't need it, so we just kind of did a quick repair and go. And unfortunately, early on in the race, Dale got caught up in something, and Matt had an unfortunate incident. He was really in the running for the championship, and he went to fuel, and it never gave him any fuel, so that's how he ended up being so far back and a few laps down. And of course, Ray got caught up in something too. So team was a bit unlucky, but teammate won the championship and won the race.
Yeah, so yeah, so grand scheme of things, yeah, definitely a good result for all of you guys. For on the title side, getting the win, top 2, of course, as well. But yeah, that's good actually insight for the 89 of Matt Quick. I thought he may have had a speeding penalty or something like that initially, but it seemed like he got held for way too long. So I was curious about that as well. So yeah, that's unfortunate when things like that kind of out of your control, that kind of unfortunately ruin the outcome of the race for you. That being said, I don't know if he could have done anything with Kevin tonight. He was definitely As always, you guys are all ones to compete with for those wins, and of course with that 22-point buffer, it was going to be tough to overcome that anyway. So, but yeah, I say great run for you, Gabe. But again, you've been finishing up the season really strong, so I'm sure that's something you're going to be looking forward to kind of build on that to go straight into season 6 with kind of keeping that roll going.
Yeah, it's good to have momentum at the end of the season, bring it into the following season. But next season is going to be interesting. There's not going to be any quick repairs, so you probably see a big change in strategy on the races, the super speedways at least.
Yeah, you're definitely right. It'll definitely change, I think, the way people are going to run these races. It'll be interesting to see how it changes and if it affects kind of the dynamics and kind of teamwork and things like that. I mean, I don't think that part will change too much, but it'll be exciting to see how everybody adapts to it. So, that being said, though, I say definitely want to give you the floor with that second place run tonight, and give you any thanks to Chaz you'd like to give for getting that second place run tonight.
A big shout out to all the teammates. Strong year. They're a fantastic group of guys to work with. We're looking forward to getting Dude Conrad back. I'll dedicate my second place win to him. And Jimmy Crow, he's normally races with us, but somebody told me he might be joining Team Red, whatever that is. But anyway, all good. Great having you broadcasting for the whole year, and a big thanks to Area 51 for running a great league.
Congrats again on that finish. Great round. So yeah, look forward to you guys kind of going back strong, getting here soon in season 6.
Look forward to it. Thanks, man.
All right, so now we got to pull up our race winner, that number 25 machine. Season 5 champion wins the championship in style, getting the win as well. So I'll say we'll pull up our race winner, championship winner, the number 25 of Kevin Fries, or Good Kevin as he's referred to by his teammates. So I guess you kind of proved your Good Kevin here tonight, getting the win, winning the title as well. I mean, you've been putting yourself in a good place at a lot of these races, and so you've been capitalizing as well. So I mean, obviously that race was not without some strategies, some craziness there. But I mean, anything that stood out to you from your point of view for tonight's race?
Huge thanks to Gabe for the push. That was perfect. It worked out really well for us getting lined up.
Yeah, so you guys worked really well. I had that feeling too, as I think I even mentioned it there. It was like as you guys were approaching the white flags, like we're gonna see that 25 and the 1 probably lock on, and it's gonna be tough to compete with them at that point of it. Because actually, usually we've seen the inside line is pretty dominant, but this time it seemed like the outside line. If you got the push right, you could actually really make that top line work. Was that something you noticed as well during the race, or did the inside-outside feel pretty equal to you?
The outside line could definitely hold its own as long as you stayed lined up and your third car was in line with you. The inside line was still pretty strong.
Yeah, so again, doing everything you needed to do tonight, got your pit stops and everything squared away there. You and Gabe, making that green flag pit stops work really well. And like Gabe had mentioned too, unfortunately you guys kind of were, I wouldn't say shorthanded, but I guess in a way a little bit with unfortunate incidents there with Raymond early on. And then Matt, of course, with his pit stop issues with the fueling. And then Dale, of course, having to recover as well after getting caught up in the incident with Raymond as well. So it was kind of you and Gabe there for just pretty much you two for a little while, and you guys still are able to make it work just with just the two of you.
Yeah, Eric was doing a great job also in the beginning of the race, pushing me on the high side, and we were able to get down when unfortunately that Ray and Dale incident happened. But unfortunately those things happened, but it was good that Gabe and I were able to stay together for the whole race.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, I completely blanked on Eric. You're right. He got caught up in some stuff as well. So, yeah, definitely wasn't without attrition tonight, but you guys were able to still get it done. Get locked up, of course, to the top at the end there and get the win. So, that being said, again, congrats on the win in the race. Obviously, more importantly, getting that season 5 championship here. Able to win the title in style. So I definitely want to give you the floor. Any thanks, shout outs you'd like to give for winning the season 5 championship?
Yeah, huge shout out to the team. Worked great all season. Made things interesting sometimes, getting together in some of the races, but we ran great together. Fun season, and hope Dude Conrad can get back with us for the next season.
Yeah, so it'd definitely be great to get him back. So after the losing the power with that hurricane, so hopefully things are getting back to normal for him. And saying, I mean, as for the contact, yeah, I mean, when you've got you guys up front and just always contending for the wins, to say those things, I'm sure are bound to happen. So that being said, I mean, you guys have definitely proven that your team is definitely going to be one to be reckoned with this season, obviously, and then all the future ones as well. So, but yeah, congrats again on the win, and more especially on the title here. Enjoy it. Say maybe enjoy a little bit of a few weeks off of no pressure on that side of things, and you'll be able to come back strong here for season 6.
Yep, it was a good one. Good season. Thanks for broadcasting all you do.
And actually, I don't know if I give you the opportunity. Do you have any thanks, shouts you'd like to give for the win, for the title, all that stuff tonight?
Just huge shout to the team. Couldn't have done it without them.
All right, well, congrats again, Kevin. Enjoy the win and the title, and I look forward to chatting here again with you soon in either season 6 or maybe some of these off-season races we got queued up.
All right, thank you. Have a good night.
All right, so that's our season 5 race winner and season 5 champion Kevin Freeze getting the win tonight here at Daytona. Had that 22-point lead going into the event, so had some wiggle room for sure over that number 89 of Matt Quick. Unfortunately, Matt didn't have the night he was looking for, with some issues on, the last 2 races, actually having some difficulties missing the start of the race last week, and then unfortunately having the fueling issues tonight. So probably just a couple of missed opportunities for that number 89 machine of Matt Quick to have a chance at the title. But that being said, though, Kevin Freeze didn't give much opportunity for him to have any chances, even with those opportunities. He's had a really good season in that 25 machine. So that being said, though, we got to go through our final results for tonight's race. So start off with our race winner there, Kevin Freeze, getting the win by about 0.05 of a second over Gabe Butler. Jack Walls in 3rd position, able to stay in front of Robbie Richards by about 0.02 of a second. And you see there, Dale Willoughby recovers from that lap down, getting the wave around, or not the, sorry, from getting back on the lead lap the old-fashioned way, recovers all the way back up into the 5th spot. You got Dalton Hayes 6th, Brandon Pasalacqua in 7th. We saw Todd Markle leading a good chunk of that second run there, finishes 8th. Nicholas Winook 9th, and Art Peck with a really good recovery from his race gets back up into that top 10. And you got 11th through 20th there. Mark Brown works his way back up into the 11th, making the most of his lucky dog with that really good wreck avoidance in that number 68 machine. And you got Corey Lane in 10th. Paul Patterson Corey Lane in 12th. Paul Patterson in 13th. Rounds out the finishers on the lead lap. Then those that were trapped, unfortunately, a lap or more down. You got Matt Quick, Eric Laurie, Michael Spell, Charles Johnson, Dwight Plush, Diego Vasquez, and Raymond Rittenauer. So with that, though, that's going to wrap up Season 5 for the Area 51 Racing League. We've got some off-season events scheduled, so of course, if you want to find more out about that, you can find them at area51iracing.com. So you're going to have some off-season races. I believe they have an all-star event where they're going to be doing three races, one on Indy cars, one on the Cup cars, and then one on the Super Speedways. And the best average finish of the 3 will be the all-star champion. And then we'll have some paid races, I believe, as well the following week. And so not too far after that, we'll get rolling into that Season 6 here at Area 51. So that being said, again, really want to thank you all for joining me here tonight with Green White Checkered TV. Again, been a privilege to be a part of the Area 51 Racing League. Crazy to think it's already been a couple of seasons with them. Looking forward to many more. I think, again, only bigger and better things coming for this league as well. So congrats again to our top 3 finishers, and congrats to our race winner and Season 5 champion, that number 25 of Kevin Freeze. And that being said, of course, until next time, if you can, please try to stay home, stay safe, wash your hands, and have a good night.